But because the reality of what you are as a God is also a chemical state. Being told that you are a descendant of the Most High and your energy has existed for millions of years, you are just a representation of something that has existed for millions of years, just a reincarnated form of it. And you start, the previous lecture that I did when I did the one with the universe, which was a mystery school exclusive, where I just simply said that human beings are aspects of the universe. It's a scientifically proven fact. The particles within your body, everything that constitutes your body, have existed for millions of years, if not billions of years. And this is scientific fact. And I say that all to say, if you understand who you are, then that changes your capacity of learning and how you learn and how you deal and build with yourself. If you know without a shadow of a doubt from an energetic layer that you can never die because you are a form of consciousness, then that will remove certain levels of your fear. This is your energy being used outside of your spiritual life, but being used to keep up fronts, to keep up appearances, to keep the whole situation going. And the reality is that you have vital hormonal energy that you cannot fake out or trick. You can't tell your hormones, hey guys, I got a lot of money today, we should be good. Hey guys, I got a lot of food today, we should be good. Hey guys, I bought a lot of spiritual products, crystals, we should be good. The only way you can treat your hormones is if you start to fully understand who you are, and who you are and fear don't exist. You are love. Love and fear can't exist in the same space. So to be 100% love is to be 0% fear. And that's a hard place for human beings to be in. But we don't spend our time in the love dimension. We spend 100% in the fear dimension, and this what creates the burnout. This is why you so tired. This is why you so exhausted. This is why you want to do drugs all the time, because you don't understand your energy. And if you never understand your energy, the thing that happens is what things that happen. Immune system dysfunction, endocrine system dysfunction, nervous system alterations, sleep and wake cycle disruption, eating disorders, all of these things that conscious people normalize. Oh, girl, I can't sleep last night. I had to do some shadow work. It's the witching hour and shit. All of this weird shit. And you might be a spiritual miracle, but 10 times out of 10, it is having a complete and hormonal disruption, and to be around a whole other bunch of people who having these hormonal disruptions, and y'all all blind, and y'all all being led by the blind. The only way that you're able to see your way out of this situation is by doing inner work. And if you don't know what inner work is, it is conquering and facing your fears, identifying your emotions. What the fuck do you mean you sad? Why are you sad? How do you get rid of that sadness? What is your sadness telling you? Don't just tell me that you sad and this is your reason for giving up. We got to have real responsibilities in reference to our spiritual life and spiritual growth. But this is where we get into the space of spiritual maturity, right? Spiritual growth. So that's what we're talking about next. But before, let's just hit up one more aspect of our ability to simply exercise our chronic fear. So the brain's capacity to retrieve previous learning is dependent on specific chemical states. The brain's capacity to retrieve previous learning is dependent on specific chemical states. Chemical alterations can distort perception of sensory information, thus distorting storage. So if you feel as if, and this gets deep in reference to just being a slave, right? You can't be a smart slave, right? You're talking about a business owner, a person that's able to buy businesses and employ people. You can't be all of that and be a slave. You can be smart and be a slave, but to the highest level degree of humanity, you'll never be that if you truly believe that you are a descendant from a slave. And that's a chemical state. But because the reality of what you are as a God is also a chemical state. Being told that you are a descendant of the Most High and your energy has existed for millions of years, you are just a representation of something that has existed for millions of years, just a reincarnated form of it. And you start, the previous lecture that I did when I did the one with the universe, which was a mystery school exclusive, where I just simply said that human beings are aspects of the universe. It's a scientifically proven fact. The particles within your body, everything that constitutes your body, have existed for millions of years, if not billions of years. And this is scientific fact. And I say that all to say, if you understand who you are, then that changes your capacity of learning and how you learn and how you deal and build with yourself. If you know without a shadow of a doubt from an energetic layer that you can never die because you are a form of consciousness, then that will remove certain levels of your fear. Fear can exist in reference to the melanated person because the melanated person is energy, and what they tell you about thermodynamics is that you can't destroy energy. It can only get transferred into another form or to another body. But when we are exercising in what we call hyperarousal of fear, the storage may be incomplete and new information will be stored in nonverbal memory. This distorts the storage of sensory input, and the retrieval of the information will be affected. And these are a lot of complicated scientific words, but if y'all will allow me to just paraphrase, who you think you are determines who you become. Who you think you are determines who you become. But if you factor in fear, that is the dye that's going to discolor the whole entire pool. Because you are energy. You are hydrogen. Non-physical and physical at the same time. This is holistic. And the reality is, if you don't get completely around the fact that you are the universe, then you have your humanity and your ego, and its whole setup is built upon fear. So every piece of clothes that you wear, every decision you make, if it's centered in the ego, is centered in fear, because the ego knows it is not the soul. The ego knows that it's going to transition and not exist any longer. So it tries to invade and persuade and integrate itself into the mind of the soul. So some of y'all are complete free spiritual souls, but yet and still y'all think that y'all fucking ego. Y'all think that y'all fucking body, and that is a result of chronic fear. Because you've been told this. So I'm saying all of this to say who you are determines exactly who you become. No longer can you say, I'm a god, but I listen to a fucking liar on YouTube talk to me about bullshit for hours and I imagine it to be spiritual. You can't say that. You gotta say that I've been tuning in to the God within and listening to that motherfucker to the point that I start following everything that it say without fear. Cause fear will have you listening to a fucking flim flammer the whole entire time, and then you don't understand shit for which they saying. But they say they spiritual, you believe they spiritual, everything is spiritual. But they can't communicate a message to save their fucking life.